I get it every time I scroll through espresso machines on Amazon. I see a glossy photo, a promise of K-level drinks at home, and then I read the comments where people complain the machine feels bulky, takes forever to warm up, or just doesn't hit the right temperature for a good shot. That gap between the listing hype and the kitchen reality is why I wanted to do a deep dive on the OENKKC E110 before anyone else spends hard-earned cash on a piece of equipment that might end up gathering dust. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the E110 is marketed as a commercial semi-automatic espresso machine, which already tells you a lot about the audience it's trying to serve. It's not a single-serve pod system you can toss on a countertop and forget about. It's a dual boiler unit with a PID controller, a 9-bar pump, and the option of a rotary pump for quieter operation. For someone who already knows what a PID does, hold the brew water at a consistent temperature down to the degree, this is a solid foundation. But if you're new to espresso, the extra knobs and switches can feel like you're trying to program a laboratory rather than pull a coffee. Who should consider the E110? Think of a serious home barista who wants to dial in espresso shots with the same precision you'd find in a neighborhood CAF, or a small office that serves a handful of specialty drinks each morning and has the space for a 110-volt machine that needs a dedicated outlet. The dual boiler design means you can brew and steam simultaneously, so if you're pulling 2 drinks back-to-back, the machine won't stall while the steam one fights for heat. The PID temperature control gives you repeatable shot temperatures, which is crucial if you're experimenting with beans that require subtle temperature tweaks. And the optional rotary pump cuts down on the vibration you hear with many vibration pumps, a nice perk if your machine will sit on a shared countertop or a kitchen island. Who should walk away? If you're looking for a plug-and-play solution that fits in a tight apartment kitchen, the E110's footprint and power requirements could be a deal-breaker. It needs a 110-volt line and a decent amount of clearance behind it for the water reservoir and the dual boiler housing. It also assumes you have a habit of cleaning and maintaining espresso equipment, backflushing, descaling, and regular steam wand upkeep. Those who are content with a drip coffee maker or a modest single-boiler semi-automatic will probably find the extra complexity and cost unnecessary. Let's talk about the real-world setup. Unboxing the E110 feels more like receiving a piece of industrial gear than a kitchen appliance. The box contains the machine, a stainless steel water reservoir, a drip tray, a group head cleaning brush, and a set of hoses if you opt for the rotary pump. Assembly is straightforward. You slot the reservoir into the back, attach the drip tray, and connect the power cord. The only hiccup I ran into was the need to adjust the water hardness setting on the PID before the first brew, which required consulting the PDF manual. Once that's done, the machine powers up, and the dual boilers start heating, one for brewing, one for steam. Expect about 10 minutes for both boilers to reach their target temps, which is longer than a single boiler unit but exactly what you need if you plan to steam milk right after pulling a shot. Daily usability is where the E110 starts to show its strengths. The brew pressure gauge is clearly marked, and the PID interface lets you set the brew water temperature in 1-degree increments, something you rarely see on home machines. When I set the temperature to 93°C for a light roasted Ethiopian bean, the shot temperature stayed within half a degree from shot to shot, which gave me consistent extraction times around 28 seconds. The steam wand delivers a robust pressure that can quickly create microfoam for latte art. No need to wait for the boiler to catch up as you'd experience on a single boiler model. The optional rotary pump made a noticeable difference when I was grinding beans early in the morning. The pump's quieter operation meant I wasn't waking up the whole house with a loud whine. Now for the hidden trade-offs. The dual boiler design means the machine consumes more electricity than a single boiler counterpart, which could show up on your monthly bill if you run it for several hours each day. The water reservoir holds about 2 liters, so you'll need to refill it regularly if you're serving a small crowd constantly. Also, the machine's internal water lines are not stainless steel, they're a standard food-grade polymer, which can develop mineral buildup faster if you have hard water and don't follow a regular descaling schedule. I found that using a filtered water source mitigated this, but it adds another small cost to the routine. A practical weakness that's easy to overlook is the machine's reliance on a 110-volt circuit. In many commercial settings, the standard is 220V, so the E110 is really geared toward